All right, I'm going to show you how to upload resources for a song onto Planning Center. Um, the example I'm going to be using is Jesus We Love You. Right now we have the resources uploaded in B and C. So let's just say, for example, we need it in a new key. We'll say A for the example. What we already have in arrangement is the number chart that I've made and the YouTube link. Excuse me. So what we're going to do is, once you have downloaded the tracks from Multitracks, I have them saved in a folder on my hard drive. So I'm going to look for Jesus We Love You. And then instead of, since I'm doing this song essentially the exact layout that it is, I'm not changing the arrangement or anything like that. I'm not doing a different intro, different outro, changing really anything. It's just going to be exactly how the tracks are laid out. I can just go to this, go to the Jesus We Love You folder, click on the multitracks.als. It'll give me this notification. You're going to say yes and OK. And it's going to automatically lay out just kind of the default arrangement of the song. So I'm going to open up all my tracks here, close this out so I can see. One thing just to make it easier, I'm going to hotkey the count off with Command K and 1. That way, if I need to jump to the beginning of the song, I can just hit 1 and spacebar.
2 1 2 3 4 5 6.
Okay, and I know from the title of this of these tracks that the original key is B, but again for this example we need it in A. So what we're going to do, I'm going to find all the melodic tracks, so bass through strings. I just double-clicked bass to open up this bottom menu here. Hold Shift and click Strings. We're going to hit Warp, change beats to complex because we're changing the notes. We're going to click on the dial here, -2, because we're going down 2 half steps from B to B flat to A. We're going to do the same thing for the BGVs, except change beats to complex pro since it's a voice. And then we'll close out of here. That should make everything in A. I'll just test it just to make sure. Yep. Alright, so now we got our song in A. Only last thing I'm going to check is I can get rid of this last locator. I can take the loop off, and I think I'm just going to trim the last bit of these tracks just by a measure or measure and a half, maybe just 1 measure. And then I'm going to add a fade to all of these. That way when I end on the 1, it'll be a gradual fade, and we're done. Okay, so to upload what you'll see as service ready, we don't need to really do anything beyond that. We're just going to go to File, Export Audio Video here, and I have all this set to where it's the same for me every time that I do this, but just make sure all of your settings match mine across here, and we're going to hit Export once you're ready, and we're going to save it to the desktop, and I just title it Service Ready, and whatever key we're in. You don't need to put the title of the song or anything like that because it's just going to attach itself to the song. And we'll give that just a moment to upload. Okay, so that one should appear as an MP3 file with the music note. If you single click that and then hit spacebar, it'll give you this preview window.
2
It's coming through. It's about 5 minutes 23 seconds. Everything sounds good. If you double click that, that'll open up your music app, and I don't really want to open that and let it load and all that stuff. I just want to preview it, make sure it's the right length, all that. I have had issues in the past where if your locator within these tracks, say like you were just looking at a bridge and so you're here in the song, if you leave your locator there, your play point there, and then go to File, Export the audio, in my experience, sometimes that will make this file not the correct length. Sometimes it'll essentially end where you had your locator, so it'll be probably closer to 4 minutes, or it may even just start from there and go to the end to where it's about 1 minute. So that's the reason why I hotkey the count off or the starting of that song, so that before I hit file, go to export, all that, I can just hit 1, make sure I'm at the beginning of that song, and then do that. So now what you're going to do, I'm not going to show you each and every one of these. I'll just pick drums as the example. You're going to go over to the gain or the intensity box here and gain it up to 6. You can also just single click that and type in 6, enter. And then we're going to, I shouldn't have to gain this one up too much. If you take a look at those wave files, they're already pretty loud, pretty full. I might gain it up by 2 here on the bottom menu. But everything else, so percussion down, I'm going to gain down by 10 to 15, depending on really just preference. But that way, when I start off clicking, guide will still be in. It looks like there's not really any drums until that first chorus. So if you skip to here, everything is a little quieter.
Full band.
But the drums, good and loud, where as the drummer's learning these songs, he knows exactly what he's playing because he can hear that louder than everything else in the song. So what we'll do now that we have that, we just want to check these high points, make sure nothing is peaking. So here it gets a little loud. All right, pretty good. Nothing is overbearing or peaking or anything like that. So again, I'll hit 1 to take me back to the start. File, export. We're going to hit export, and then I just name that drums. You don't really play drums in the key of A, but for the sake of organization, I'll just name it A to match the service ready and all the other files that we'll be uploading. So that'll upload here. We'll just preview it again, single click and spacebar.
1.
And it's about the right length, and the drums are prominent.
Chorus.
Great, so that's all we need. And you're just going to do the same thing for the rest of your tracks. So we're going to double click this box to bring it down to 0. I can gain my drums down by 15 because they're going to be louder than a lot of these other instruments. And then you would do the same process for bass, crank it up here, gain it up however much you need to so where it's audible. And then you would make sure you can hear it above all the other instruments. File, export audio, and then name that bass and the key you're in. Same thing for acoustic, electric, and piano. The rest of these we don't really use. A lot of the keys tracks are going to be mostly synth and pre-recorded stuff, so we don't really need that for our teams. Same thing with strings and BGVs. A lot of those are particular to the song or to the key that you're in. And then once we have all of that, I'm going to minimize, close out of this. I'm going to pull up just an example song on Planning Center. So I've got Jesus We Love You. We need it in A, and so we're going to hit Add Files to Linked Song, and this little window is going to pop up, and from here you should be able to see all your MP3s that we just did. We're going to drag those into this box, and you see the titles here. Let those load, and then we're going to make sure that we organize them correctly. So it'll ask where you want to attach these. The only thing that we ever attach to arrangement is going to be the YouTube link, or some kind of recording of just the original recording of the song, and number charts. Everything else is going to be specified by what key it's in. You could argue that you could attach drums to arrangement if you wanted to, just because those aren't going to change based on the key you're playing in. But I typically, again, for organization's sake, attach them just to the key we're in. And then for some reason, I've noticed when we initially upload these, they are stuck in arrangement and in the key that you're in. So I've found if you just refresh the page, we will open it back up, and it should be organized how we want it. Go to Files. Yep. So we just got the number chart and the YouTube link there, and then under our key in A, we've got our files. And only other thing, I tend to, I prefer to make my chord charts, and I just use the same template for that for all of our songs. So I just have a copy of a blank chord chart in the format that we use, to where you can put the title there, parentheses, we love you. You can put the key, the BPM, the time signature, who it's by at the bottom, and then type out the intro, all the interludes, all the choruses, that kind of thing. And that just helps me and my team because it keeps it all on one page, and I'm able to edit a little more. If you prefer to use song select, that's another option that you can do. It's a little faster. However, I've found that it's not always accurate, especially with timing of chords and that kind of thing, and sometimes they get a little busy. But you can use that as an option, especially if it's a last minute thing. You'll just sign in with our account, look it up, and then you've got the lyrics. You can go over here to chords, and again, it'll give you all the key, the tempo, and the time signature, and it gives you those chords, and then you can download those, I believe, here. Yep, download PDF. And then you can attach that PDF file again, the same way that we did these, where you just add file to the song and upload there. These also offer number charts, I believe, here. Yeah. But again, some of these are fine and they work, but the main issue I've had with them is that they don't always fit on one page, so it's just a lot of scrolling and a lot of trying to keep up for any of our team members using these charts versus the ones that I make. I keep them all on one page to where they can see everything they need to. It's a little cleaner, a little less going on, not as much of this look to it. And it's also beneficial if you're doing any kind of alternate arrangement. If you're making the chord chart, it's easy to just create an alternate arrangement. If you want to put a different intro or a different outro or change something mid-song, you can do that. So that's the benefit of it. That's how I prefer to do it. I think that's everything. Let me know if that's helpful or if I need to clarify anything. Just let me know.